Hello and welcome back to the Mind and Money podcast. I'm Sherry, a financial coach.
And I'm Val, a financial planner. And today we are talking about ways that ADHD presents itself in women, also in us. So I asked good old ChatGPT for the top 10. So we're going to go through them. And then I think there's also a piece to be said around like why it's typically not recognized in women in childhood, but it's more so recognized in males or male versus female, right? So let's talk about the top 10 first. The first one is chronic disorganization, difficulty keeping things in order, managing time, and staying organized. I would agree to this, but I now have more systems in place to help. Not all, but more.
It's the classic ADHD answer. Well, no, but
yeah.
Like I posted this in my Instagram stories yesterday. If it's not in my Google Calendar, it's not happening. If I put so many things in there that people might think are whacked, but
oh, she's sweet but a psycho.
If we're doing something and we're planning something and you don't immediately see me pull out my phone and put it in the calendar,
then I won't be there.
Don't wait for me. I won't be there. And maybe later today I'd be okay, but next week,
not.
It's a definite no for me. From an organization perspective, I don't necessarily feel like I'm disorganized with physical things.
What was your desk like as a child?
My room, it was a disaster.
Okay, see, that's what I mean. My school desk was always.
I don't remember my school desk, but
you blocked that. I knew you wouldn't know.
No, I don't. But my room was a disaster. I actually should have gone on the confessions episode. Maybe I actually had a water bed. My grandparents sold their home and were in a trailer living 6 months in Florida. Anyways, so that I inherited their water bed, which I thought was super cool. But then one time, because I didn't change my behavior and I still put all the things on my bed, so then I poked a hole in it and it leaked all through the floor. So yeah, I was disorganized then, but now it's about leaning into what works for me. I have a shit ton of storage in my bathroom.
Yes.
But the skincare that I use regularly and my toothbrush, the things that I use regularly, they're in a clear container, open to
insight.
Yeah. Everything I use regularly is in sight somewhere.
The Google Calendar segues nice into number 2, which is forgetfulness. So frequently forgetting appointments, names, important tasks, paying bills, This is why we have automated systems. And to your point, if it's not in my calendar, I will forget.
And even as somebody who loves managing my finances, I have a reminder in my phone every 2 weeks before payday to go in and do the finance things, pay off the credit card, track where the credit card spending went, and reminders for everything, reminders to take my meds, to take my supplements, to actually invest the money that we sent to Quest Trade, reminders for all of the things, and trying to build habits so that I know what days of the week I'm doing things as an entrepreneur too. So creating a little bit of consistency with some boundaries and flexibility.
Some structure, right? Because if there's not that in place, I had an agenda from a very young age. And if I didn't have it, my brain was having a hard time. So
wait, are you calling a planner an agenda?
Planner, agenda.
Weird.
Calendar.
Interesting.
I would totally call it an agenda.
And I also have, I tried physical planners. I tried so many physical planners, and I like being able to color them in and all of that.
Yeah.
But then I have to remember to open them and look at the things. And again, with that calendar partnered with my Apple Watch so that it buzzes me. You have a meeting, 10 minutes.
Do this.
Don't forget. And when I put a meeting in my calendar that requires travel, I then set the meeting for the time that I need to have left by, but then I make the title of the meeting the actual time that I'm supposed to be there.
I do the same thing. I do the exact same thing. The third one is difficulty focusing, struggling to maintain attention and expectations.
I do forget a lot of shit. I will read a book and immediately forget about it.
Yes.
I will watch a movie, and if I watch it again in 2 weeks,
it's like a brand new movie.
It's like a brand new movie. I will forget that my husband told me things. But on the flip side, I will remember with freakish accuracy some specific things. If you told me you were going to do this on this day, random message from me 3 months from now, being like, hey, how'd that thing go?
Yeah. Those random things that do fall through our, what is it, your RFA, your reticular something, that make it through and sinks in there and is like, I will remember this.
Yeah. But mine's either a sieve or a steel trap.
Yep. One or the other. Procrastination.
I like to look at it as creating urgency to motivate me to get
I
things
do
done.
well under pressure. I'm a pressure cooker, and nothing's getting cooked if it's not under pressure.
I used to beat myself up about that a lot, but
All the
I've
time.
just changed how I think about
Yes.
things.
Yes. Yep. Working with your strengths.
Yes.
Impulsivity.
Wait, is that 2 things?
That's number 5. Impulsivity. Making impulsive decisions such as spending money, interrupting others in a conversation, acting on urges without considering the consequences. Buying
Next.
plants.
Next.
Emotional dysregulation. Having difficulty managing emotions. I think this is really tied to my cycle.
And I'm sure this is something that I've always done, but knowing now that I have ADHD, I pay attention to it more.
Yes, more mindfulness.
And I don't necessarily catch myself before I snap, but then I very quickly realize, shit, that wasn't you. Typically my dear husband. The worst for me is a couple of worst things is being in spaces with a lot
going
of
on.
noises.
Overstimmy.
Watching TV and having somebody on their phone and and me trying to read on the couch. It's just one noise I can handle. 2 noises is too much. And one of the big things is if I'm hyper focused on something and I have somebody come at me for whatever, asking a question, that's where I'm most prone to bite somebody's head off.
You're like, I was deep in focus.
Yeah, especially if I'm trying to connect. I have some programs that do automations, especially if I'm trying to create an automation and be like, okay, first this step, then this. And if I don't have anything written down and that focus just is like, fuck, I have to start all.
Yeah. They're like,
again.
oh, sorry, did we erase your whiteboard in your brain?
Yes.
Low self-esteem, struggling with feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, imposter syndrome, right? I think younger me for sure, current me always constantly building.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. And
Yes.
I definitely notice that too, is every year in my business and every year that I get older, I feel it a little bit less, but it's also where it hits me the most. And honestly, I feel this less since I've been medicated. But when I have the first step with a potential client is typically a free consultation over a Zoom call. And when I feel a really good connection to that person and I know I'm like, those problems I have
the solution.
I have 7 different solutions for every problem that you mentioned. And then they're not ready to take that step. And then they don't ultimately end up taking that step. And sometimes they come back months or years later and do. But I always think about, oh shit, could I have done something different? Could I have said something different that could have had them taking the leap so that, 6 months, 6 years from now, they're not still stuck with all of those challenges.
Yes.
Trying to think about it as it's their decision. I can't make it for them. And I offered them as much information as I could. And I'm of course going to follow up with them too. But sometimes it's just like, because I have had those situations where it's months or years later where somebody comes back to me and I'm just like, so now your debt's bigger or you're more financially stressed. And how different could that have been had we worked together when we had that free call?
But sometimes you just go it's also divine timing. You cannot force it.
Yeah. Trying to lean into that and understand that, you know what, it's not me, it's them, and they have to be ready and I can't want it for them more than they do.
Difficulty following through.
Sometimes I say this as the 3rd week in a row, maybe the 4th, I've written something on my task list for the week and not done it. Yeah. And it's interesting because I know doing it will be impactful and have good results for my business, but not doing it doesn't really have any negative consequences. So sometimes, but usually there's some type of urgency for me to get something done, whether it's real or fake.
Created urgency. Sleep issues, experiencing trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up. I have better bedtime routines now, so the falling asleep isn't as bad as it has been. I love sleep, so the waking up.
I am a big fan of snooze, which then sometimes leads to something I shared in an earlier podcast where sometimes I'm getting out of the shower 2 minutes before a meeting. Improving my sleep has been something over the last year and a half that I've really been focused on, and I've done a lot of things and it's been better, but I've now started waking up more in the middle of the night, which I never used to. And I'm pretty sure it's the hormones and the perimenopause, but trying to figure out what works. And I've been trying to remember to turn the thermostat down before I go to bed, which when I do, it's helpful. But also when it comes to the procrastination, I can program that thermostat to automatically reduce. Why the fuck haven't I done that?
I was wondering the same thing. The 10th one, the last one, hyperfocus. An intense focus. Oh, we know what hyperfocus is. Check. Check, check, check.
Yeah. Especially when it's something that I'm super interested in. And I can't remember where this would fall into, but like, I think maybe it's like the distractibility. Lately, I've been, and we're probably going to do a podcast on this too, so I'm not going to spill all the beans, but lately I've had really good results with people finding me when they Google. And I ask when somebody books a free consultation with me, how did you find me? And so many of them have shared exactly what they Googled recently, and kiss to that because that's awesome. So like I Googled ADHD money coach. And some of that has come through automations. So then my brain goes to, well, I could help other people with this. Maybe I should just like put in my Instagram stories that I want to help you get better search results on Google. I don't know anything about, okay, I've Googled some things on SEO optimization, but I just know what I'm doing. So like maybe I could help somebody else
share the recipe,
what I'm doing, and then help. Like, so that's like that shiny thing. To be like, are you an entrepreneur that wants to get more people finding you, more ideal clients finding you? Wait, can I help with that? And it's just like, wait a minute. I have so many other things I want to do that I've been pushing to the back.
It's like that carrot that the universe is like, are you going to take it?
But I'm like, this is fun. I really like
it's fun
doing that.
And it's new.
But I also want to put out like this. There's the 6 months group coaching program has been simmering in the back of my head forever.
Right.
That is going to have me have more of an impact versus helping. It's still really fun too.
That's that hyperfocus, right? Like some things become hot and pressing, and even hyperfocus on collections, on buying things, it can come in all sorts of ways. Hobbies, getting really into something and then not being
figuring
into
out
it
all of the health things I can invest in to improve my sleep.
Yes.
The infrared sauna that I've been looking at is supposed to really help with sleep.
I believe it.
And also I've done, so right now it's early March, and I've of course done a almost complete draft of our income taxes to see how much extra I have in my income tax savings account.
To buy the sauna.
Probably where it's going to come from. But also, like, that's why I have this system, so that I can pay myself extra bonus. And this money isn't part of our overall financial strategy. Plus,
build the machine.
Yeah. So it might seem like I have some irrational spending, but it's all planned for. So that took a tangent, didn't it?
Love it.
And also, it's all about busy mind. And what do you think is more poorly named, ADHD or TFSA, tax-free savings account?
TFSA.
See,
but I'm biased.
Yeah.
I spend more time in that.
Yeah, it's just
because it's not a savings account.
The attention deficit part of ADHD is like, it's not a deficit of attention.
Sometimes it is though.
But it presents as a deficit of attention, but really we are taking in more things than a neurotypical.
Attention depth, maybe, is what it should be.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like people are like, well, how did you come up with this solution? How did you know that this was going to happen?
Right.
It's like, I was just taking in 7 billion factors.
My brain was wide open.
Yeah. Like I saw your facial expression shift a little bit when they said this.
Yes.
We seem distracted because we have so much information hitting us. And it's not like, I'm not a leg shaker. I'm a bit of a hand talker. I'm sometimes like fiddling with something in my hand, but I'm not bouncing off of my chair. But
man, if you could see the mind movement, I mean, I know there's scans and stuff, but I mean, as a physical thing, maybe that's why we have curly hair.
Because our brains are fried. I might Google later. I wonder if there's any studies out there around the number of thoughts that an individual with ADHD has comparatively to a number of thoughts that a neurotypical has, and also comparatively between born female, born male. Because also, okay, quick segue, and then we're going to wrap it up. I saw a video on TikTok this week or last week, how there was a couple talking, and he had taken on the task of grocery shopping, which for them, like a lot of people, included personal care items, toothpaste, laundry soap. And I love this conversation between the two of them, because he was saying, I don't mind preparing the food. Like, I will cook all day long once the food is here. But figuring out and having to keep this mental load going of, oh, I brushed my teeth and the toothpaste is almost empty. I have to remember to add that to the grocery list. Or I just used the last bottle of pasta sauce. I have to add that to the grocery list. Or especially when you're not the main cook in the house. So then you have to maintain an inventory of stuff that you're not even using. I'm sure I've talked about this before. My husband and I order online, and when something's out, we immediately add it to the online order. And also, if I'm in the kitchen cooking and we're out of something, I'll just be like, hey, can you add this to the order? So it really helps with that. But like, the mental load of typically the female head of household is a lot. And when you add ADHD in there, it's a lot to manage. So take care of yourself
and find a partner that supports the understanding of that mental load.
Yeah. And don't try and hide those parts of you, because then it doesn't allow your loved ones or your partner to see where those gaps might be. But like, having those conversations too around, it would be really helpful if you did this. Yeah, I have a little more faith in every generation that comes along, that in the traditional like male-female relationship, that the load is getting a little more balanced. We're about 17 generations from it being fully balanced, though. So
getting it.
Yeah, so thanks for being here. We hope that you like and subscribe and come connect with us on social media, or if you're ready to get some financial support or put more money away into investments, connect with us. And the investment is Val, not me. I don't do that. But yeah, you can connect with us. We both offer free consultation. So just random plug, because you might be sitting there going, I resonate.
It is time.
I resonate. It's time, and not know what to do next. So that's what to do next. So thank you for being here, and we hope you have an amazing day. Take care.